Hey yo, how's it going? It is Kitty Skies back once again showing you how to get all gold medals in the European regional license. This was a free key, of course, a promotional key given to us. My first advice to you, this is the first race, it's very small, it's just the one section of Brands Hatch. My first advice to you is, to the bottom right there's an instrument counter. You see the front, rear, that's doing it on from Wassan, front, rear, but you press right on the D-pad 3 times you'll be able to get to the TCS. You want to, for the slower bikes, it's often advisable to turn off the traction control settings, and as you can, the power of the bikes are less, they don't cause you to slip as much. Now with this first kind of race, it's actually, like normally, in the other time trials they would disqualify you for going over the curbs like that, but this one is quite lenient, so try to get as much power as you can in and keep a straight line. And the first one I found to be pretty easy after the second or third try, although a bit tight, doesn't give you much breathing space. None of them really do it. I'm by no means a racing guru or anything, I just played right for quite a lot. I'm above average, so I heard like a lot of average players and stuff like having trouble, but if I can do it, I believe that you can as well, so there's my kind of faith. So in number 2, it's straightforward again, it's the actual, a bigger section of Brands Hatches. It's kind of trying to introduce you into how to mitigate. So the speed trap shows you the best races in line there is. Now with speed traps you can rewind, so do not be afraid. If you mess up, you go too slow, you just rewind a little bit. I give it a full blast this one. I kind of nailed it. But another advice is to put on the ideal trajectory. It helps tons, it'll help you learn the racing line, and it'll help you nail these apexes. So I almost took that really wide. That corner is very hard and difficult to maneuver. But yeah, this first bike, the Yamaha, turn the traction control off, just gun it. Learn the corners where you can gun it, like where you can't go full out. Rather than that, yeah, I mean, as long as you're going quicker than the speed traps, like as you see to the top middle, you've got the certain time, 74 miles or kilometers if you're playing in the rest of Europe. So I actually made a mistake in this one, which is funny. It gives you quite a bit of time in this one, that even if you do make a mistake, you can generally get away with it. It was very surprising, because in the others you couldn't. So there we go. Yamaha. Hawa. Yep, so that's our second gold medal. There's 5 per tier. And actually, I will be honest, I could not do the American license. It was just too difficult. But I did the Asian and European, so I'm only going to upload the Asian and European videos. So sorry I could not do the Asian, the American regional license. But now this third one is a lot tougher for newcomers because the bike's heavy. It's a naked bike, ironically heavier. So you've got to kind of use your weight and momentum to kind of pendulum yourself into the corners. Although not quite as drastic, I do say. So you see, this first corner is quite a nightmare actually. You tend to go too fast and straight off it. So pace yourself going to the first corner. Second, of course, then lean into it. Use all that weight of your bike and just get in there. It is very difficult, this bike to use though, I'm not going to lie. It's KTM 980 I believe, Super Duke, I might be wrong. This corner here right now, it'll tend to get out a lot of people as well. You could do the same line, you might get disqualified. It's really weird that one line there. This you tend to overshoot as well, so try not to go too fast around this corner. But as you can see, traction was off as well, which was causing me problems there. Would I recommend it to be off? I guess so. It was a Duke 790, but that one was actually pretty tight, I believe, and very heavy bike. But to pass the test, all you gotta really do is have bronzes throughout them all. That should be enough points to carry you through onto the game anyway, so. But yeah, that was quite the fun one. So, to the next one, again Nürburgring. This time it's track day. It's pretty simple. This one's much better because you have rewinds available to you. So if you make errors, just rewind. Try not to. If you go off the track and crash, you will fail. So try not to do that. Again, be pretty aggressive in the corners. Use your weight of the bike to kind of try and negotiate around. And be careful of the traction control like that, because the back end will swing out. And don't panic if you don't get it the first try or two. Just keep at it and eventually it will come. The more you play, the more you're rewarded. Oh! Actually, it appears this one you can actually go off the track. But do make use of your rewinds, they will save your day. Obviously press RB to rewind. For every bike you pass, you will gain 4 seconds. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, finally, they shut up. No, this one's pretty straightforward. Not much to say on this one. Other than rewind if you crash like so. Very easy to do. But these bikes are really... I have no idea why I actually went straight through them then. So I went with the impression that you could go through the AI, but as you can see in a bit, it's not actually the case, and I shouldn't have gone through them at all, and yeah, watch this now, it's really funny. Crash. So that was actually pretty funny to me. I was like, what the hell, I obviously just went through one, now I suddenly can't. But it's actually only 7 passes on this one. It's, again, pretty lenient. And if you have any comments you'd like to add in the YouTube comments, feel free to comment. I read everything, suggestions, anything else. If you want hints, tips, just let me know and I'll be there. I'll be there for you. Alright. And if you do want to subscribe, we are focused towards walkthroughs and playing the newest games. Primarily Xbox, sometimes Steam and PlayStation, depending on how much we want to venture out of the comfort zone. These bikes, so they really, after racing them, you feel really drained and exhausted because they're just so heavy. It feels like you're actually riding them. And an achievement. We got learner achievement. We were actually one of the first people to play this game, hence why I had to disclaim the fact we had a free key from Koch Media. And I actually fully completed all the achievements. Fully completed the game. It was pretty tough. Shout out to Irish Warrior as well. Amazing. Legend. So our 4th race puts us in a superbike, and that's stupid there. It's actually much more difficult. The last 2 races now are much more tougher, sadly. You have to be really on the pace, on the ball with these. Fortunately, this speed trap, as I said, you do have rewinds, so it's not too much of a problem. But the last race is actually pretty difficult. Now, you are going to pretty much overshoot a lot of these speed traps, even I did. But I know there's a few people out there that won't, because, you know, obviously there's much more better players than me, which is fine. But I kept this in because I remember having so much difficulty with there. You just got to make sure you kind of line up correctly and have at it, as they say. It probably would be much more difficult if these speed traps didn't have rewind. I would have been absolutely, I don't know. I mean, I would have got them obviously, but it would have taken much longer. Now this corner here is the hardest, because it's easy to slip off, and it's kind of, there we go, you see that then? And also it doesn't really tend to give you much direction, so just make sure to pay a lot of attention on the last corner there, because it is easy to fall off. And once you do that, hopefully, that should be another gold acquired and just one more. Now onto the, what I would say would be the last and toughest one. I do recommend putting traction control on for this one. Whether it be 2 on number 2 or the full 3. However, I think I did actually turn the traction control off because you need all the speed you're going to get, so maybe with traction control on you're not going to cut it. So it was a very, very difficult one, this one. I had to do it quite a few times. I probably spent about 15-20 minutes on it. Just really make sure to get into the swing of things. So I like to go pretty wide in the corners, then cut, like go inside there, like so. Again, remember that the first corner is pretty tough. I actually only just about made that. And of course this one is actually the full circuit, so... Again, cutting that really close. And with no rewinds, that's going to be really tough to do. But you just gotta really push yourself and hope for the best. And as I said, I made quite a few mistakes. Try not to get too frustrated with it. And just keep at it, practice makes perfect. I believe this corner, if you angle it correctly, you can take it with a lot more speed. And up here as well, you can actually go flat out. But of course I was very nervous, and look at it right there, I only just made that corner. And again, almost spun out because of no traction control. I did race in automatic also, I might add as well. I'm not sure if manual's faster, I've never tried it in manual, I'd assume so. And a good tip is, if you don't finish, just continue back to menu, and then when you redo it, you'll see your actual time you did before and how far faster or slower you are than it. Then you know earlier or later on then if you need to restart it. But this one is incredibly tight, so I really do wish you luck with it. I hope that showing you the videos actually helps and trying to give you my hints and advice. And when you do get all gold medals on these tracks, you will be rewarded with a bike. And again, if you have any feedback, or if you want to tell me how to improve, then of course, or if you want to say that you just beat it, then of course feel free to comment and I'll congratulate you as well, and you'll be induced into the THL Hall of Imaginary Fame. So yeah, look, I only beat it by 0.005 of a second, which is insane. And if it is your first thing, it'll be perfection doesn't exist. Obviously it does because I'm around. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if this helped, give it a thumbs up. If you're frustrated, then of course feel free to give it a thumbs down. There's your lovely jubbly bike. For more videos, feel free to subscribe and yada. You know the drill. Everyone's been on YouTube long enough now to know what to do. Yeah, and I'll be back with the Asian Regional License. Right, there you go, there's all the gold there. Okay, thank you for watching and have a great day.